Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jonah from Discover, and we are talking to Debra today. How are you doing, Debra?
I am so excited. It's kind of ridiculous. I was dancing to the music as you were counting down. There's something.
You got such a good energy already. Just before when we were talking, I was like, we are gonna have a good time. So
Woo!
I want to talk just for a second, make sure everyone knows where they are, what's going to happen today, and then we'll launch in because I know, Debra, you got a lot of awesome stuff to teach us today.
Yay! I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. And so everyone who's watching, please hop in the comments and let us know where you're tuning in from, something you're excited to learn, how you heard about Debra, how you heard about Discover, maybe something you're wearing today that you're excited about. Just use those comments. Anything. Use those comments as a place to interact. We love seeing those. And if you have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to ask them. We'll try and answer them during the event. But if we don't right away, we're not ignoring you. We've set aside that time after for a Q&A after the presentation. So we'll get to all those questions. And if we don't get to them, hop in there again and let us know so we want to answer all your questions. And if the presentation's moving fast, life around you happens, you have to get up, go to the bathroom or anything, don't fret. All of this will be available. It'll be on YouTube, it'll be on the Discover event page, and it'll also be emailed to you along with the course offer, which we'll talk about a little later. And I just want to give a couple call outs here. We got Debbie tuning in from Delaware, Susan from Phoenix, Jules and Fiber from California. Thank you all for being here today. It is so fun. And if you don't know where you are, like I said, we are talking to Debra Alfarone.
If you don't know where you are, then we got more problems than I can help with in this presentation.
I know. Today we're gonna be talking about how to be more confident on camera in one easy step, and you'll leave this event today with concrete steps towards looking and sounding your best and becoming more comfortable on camera, which is so important nowadays. And plus the inspiration to know the world needs to hear your message. If you don't know about Debra, little background, Debra is a highly sought after on-camera confidence coach and a current network TV correspondent for CBS stations across the country. The one thing Debra's learned in her dozen plus years as a journalist is that everybody has a story and everybody's story deserves to be told. Debra, I want to dive in. I want to get out of the way so we can jump in. So I'm going to hand it over to you and we can get started here.
Okay, I'm really excited. Thank you so much for that introduction. And Jonah, your energy, okay, talk about confidence on camera right here, this guy. I mean, because you're excited.
I'm meeting what's being given, Debra. You brought it into the room.
Well, that's one tip is that you are responsible for the energy you bring in the room. And it is easy when I'm talking to you because you've got great energy. And then I come in and I'm like, yay. And so there's a lot of happiness in the room.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do is teach you how to be confident no matter what. Because let me tell you, sometimes when you're making a video, right? Is there anyone in the room? No. So you have to bring that energy. So that's just one tip. See, if your computer just fritzed out, you'd be okay. You'd get that one tip.
Love it. Well, should we dive into the presentation?
Yeah. Let's bring that presentation up. You got me? Oh, you're
love
so
it.
good today.
And call on me if you need anything. I will be here, and everyone is watching and present. So let's get going.
Okay, great. So wait, one technical thing. I'm going to go over to my tab and then, right?
Yep.
Just keep going. Okay, good.
Yep.
Sure, because I need to be confident about that. Okay, let me do that.
Oh, yeah. And I will let you know if anything goes wrong, but we can see you and the presentation, and it is looking good.
Okay, good. Thank you. Well, I love bright colors. Like you can't tell, right? Okay. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to launch into it. Being more confident on camera in one easy step. That is what we are here for. And I promise you that I'm going to deliver on that. By the time you walk out of here, you're going to be knocking people over. You're going to be so confident. You're going to be like, I need to make a video right now. And video is really important. I mean, this is the thing. We all need to be on video. I mean, here we are. It's the land of Zoom. We're all on video all the time, whether it be StreamYard, Zoom, whatever it is. And really, you got to get out of your comfort zone to create video. And that's the thing, is we stay in our comfort zones because why? They're comfort zones, duh, right? But really, we have to feel uncomfortable. We have to do it. We have to feel uncomfortable and get out of that zone to create our lives. It is not comfortable to ask someone on a date, right? It's not comfortable unless you know you're going to get a yes. It's not comfortable to call up someone and try to have a networking meeting. It's not comfortable to make a video to talk about your business because it might feel icky or salesy, right? But you have to. You have to. And you have to because you need to make video for Reels, for TikTok, for YouTube, for your website, for your sales page on your website. So we already know we have to. And you will feel uncomfortable. That's okay. Life's about getting outside of your comfort zone. I'm here to give you the tools. So let's continue on a little bit. So
Maybe
again,
you don't like how you look or sound
here we go.
on video. Maybe you don't know exactly what to say, or maybe you even think, who's going to want to listen to me? Yeah, I have been there. And I'm here to tell you that even if you think you're not good on camera, anyone can learn how to be more comfortable and confident with the right coach, of course. That would be me. I know what it's like, and I've learned from the best, and you do not need to go it alone. Let me introduce myself. I'm Debra, a network TV correspondent, a media trainer, and a coach, and I have 15 years experience crafting stories under deadline, fine-tuning my confidence, and I've also been teaching this to people at Fortune 500 companies like American Express, and also to on-air journalists who work at CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, BuzzFeed. I'm here to unlock the mystery and to give you your roadmap. With Broadcast to Billions, Be Confident on Camera, I'll teach you my 6-step process to be.
So I'm going to stop the video there, but this is a video that is on my website. And, it's very important to have a video on your website. As you can see, it means you are 50% more likely to show up on the first page of a Google search. That's some important stuff. Okay. Continuing on. I have one more video here.
My name is Debra Alfarone, and I'm a network TV correspondent, a media trainer, and a coach. I'm teaching a free workshop on Teachable Discover to help you set aside hesitations so you can be more.
Okay, so you know why you're here. Maybe this video helped you to be here. I don't know. But that is a video that was on the sales page of when you're thinking about signing up for this. And again, a video on your sales page, it has incredible, incredible value. It actually makes someone 80% more likely to actually buy something off that sales page. 80%. So if I said to you, hey, I got this thing that will help you show up 50% more likely on a Google search, right? Or 80% more likely to convert someone from a browser to a buyer, you'd be like, oh, yeah, hey, I'll take it. You already have it. If you have a phone, you have got everything you need. You can make a video. And so I just want to give you these concrete facts that help you to know there's no getting around this. We got to do this. Okay, continuing on. So a video on your social media also means that people stick around longer. The algorithm of everything, Facebook, Twitter, Reels on Instagram, your stories, TikTok, everything, it all loves video. And so the more videos that you have, it's going to serve you up that much more. It means that people are going to stick around longer. So if you're going to be rewarded for that. Now, I'm going to be giving you the tools, the 4 steps of how to create confidence. But I also want you to know that at the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you the information on how to get something else. I want to give you something to walk away with, because I don't want you to sit here and go, okay, I know how to be confident. I can make this. I can create this video. I've got the oomph to do it. I got the energy. And then you don't have the equipment. So I have a free equipment guide, and I'm going to give you the link to sign up for that. And when you do that, you'll be on my mailing list, and you can opt out of the emails if you so choose, or you can stick around and learn more about how to be confident on camera and make amazing videos that are compelling and that make people want to be your friend. Really? Because that's what they're doing. They're getting to know you for who you are, and you have value. So I will let you know about that towards the end of the presentation. I like to give people a gift. Okay, let us go on. Okay, we're going to use our time kind of going through the 4 steps. And then once we go through the 4 steps, because I'd like to let you know what to expect. So you go through the 4 steps. We're going to work on that. And then we're going to be all sorts of confident. We're going to do our Q&A and then see you bye. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. Why am I the perfect person to teach you about this? You can see a couple of pictures of me here. Well, you can also see me right here. I'm a network TV correspondent. I work for CBS stations across the country and CBS News. I actually have an incredible story airing this weekend, CBS Saturday morning, that I'm getting lots of emails. You can hear the pings maybe. We're doing lots of editing for it right now. And it's a beautiful piece that's going to air Saturday morning and also Saturday weekend evening news. So that's what I spend a lot of my time doing. And the other, there's like a joke about like, okay, 50% of the time, 80% of the time I'm doing this and the other 80% of the time I'm doing that. That's how much I work. So I'm doing things at CBS, and I also have my own business where I'm a course creator, a media trainer, and an on-camera coach. And it's a lot of confidence, right? So everything that I do, I really need to have confidence. And it's not like I got it yesterday. I've been doing this on-air work for 15 years. So I've covered breaking news. I've covered hurricanes. I covered the White House. My favorite thing, though, is telling stories of people who have overcome things to really create change. They've overcome obstacles to do incredible things. So I want to introduce you to some people here. And it's important that you know their story, and it'll all make sense in the end. And it's important that you know my story as well. So Jamie Watts is this woman right here with a 34 on her. I want you to meet her. She is a woman who has cerebral palsy, who walks with a cane, and she ran a marathon, like a full-on marathon. I don't know about you. I'm sure in this amazing group, we have people who've run marathons, right? So I know you're all a bunch of go-getters. I hadn't run a marathon. I ran a 10K once. That was a long time ago. And now I just walk my dogs. But it's incredible to think of the tenacity to run a marathon when your legs work well, and hers don't. And so she set her mind to do this. Matthew Goins is the gentleman right next to her, sitting with his family on the couch. Matthew Goins is an African-American father who was doing puzzles with his 3 beautiful kids that you see right there. And he realized that the kids depicted in the puzzles didn't look like his kids. So he decided he was going to make a puzzle for his kids with, little brown faces, the little kids on this puzzle. And he ends up making it, and his friends are all like, wow, I really like that. And it grows into a business. And now he's got this huge business, and he's wildly popular. It's called Puzzle Huddle. Hold on. Because I have to, of course, show the puzzle. And this is a news anchor puzzle. Yeah, I know. I'm going to send this to my friend tomorrow because she wanted it. But these are incredible stories of people overcoming situations to create something new that hasn't been done before. And so, you may think, okay, Debra, well, that's great. You're going to teach us about confidence. Okay. Well, you're on TV every day and you go interview people every day. So like, we're not you, and you do this all the time. So what are you going to teach us? So the secret I held my whole life up until just a couple of years ago is that, yes, I am an award-winning TV journalist, and I've got a couple of awards up there. Not many, okay, but a couple of them. But once I was a high school dropout. And then I surprise some people here. And I share this openly and vulnerably to let people know that I too have struggled with my confidence. And, we are just, this brain up here, like this thing can lead us to not think we're enough, or we can feed it empowering thoughts and tell ourselves that we are. Okay. My story is I came from a dysfunctional family, and I raised myself. I didn't have mentors or anyone to really guide me. As I got older, though, I was lucky enough to come across a couple of people who saw something in me and believed in me. And so that was enough for me to slowly study and get my GED and put myself through college. There's a lot more in this story between that, right? Okay, putting myself through college and getting my first job in TV news, and whoa, that is a heck of a story. And then there's a whole nother level of how'd you get to CBS News? I have all these stories for you, and I'll share those secrets at the end of this. They're really incredible. And again, that whole being uncomfortable, that theme is going to come up again. But I say all of this, and I share myself vulnerably to you, people who I can't see right now, but I know you're out there. And I do this because I want you to know that I suffer from a crisis of confidence too. And what I go through when I'm at the White House, I mean, like literally I'm at the White House, or I'm, on scene of some breaking news, is I go through this 4-step process I'm about to take you through. So you might realize this is a little bit of woo-woo Oprah-esque kind of presentation, but stay with me because I believe in you and I believe in the power of everyone to tell their own story. And I do this because I know what I do on a daily basis and tell these stories. And I look for these stories. Yes, I have to, tell the story of the day at the White House, but there's lots of stories out there that I go out of my way to tell, like these 2 that I'm telling you right now about. And so I tell you that because I know that everyone has a story, and everyone's story has the ability to change the world in small and large ways, like these 2 people here, and like you. So let's keep on going. If you got any questions too, I'm here for questions. Okay. I'm not going to make you wait until the end, but I'm going to let Jonah let me know. Let's talk about imposter syndrome. Unless Jonah pipes in with some questions or anything like that, I'm going to keep on going. So imposter syndrome. Oh, Jonah.
I was just going to say, keep going, keep going. You got us. We're rolling. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. So imposter syndrome, okay, which is what many of us suffer from. I know I suffer from it. It's feelings of self-doubt about your skills, your talents, your accomplishments. I mean, I got an Emmy over there and I still feel this way. It's a fear of being discovered as a fraud. And really these thoughts, because they're not real, these thoughts stand like a brick wall in between who we think we are and who we want to be. We all want to be something we're not at some point. I mean, hopefully we get to a point where we're really happy with who we are, but we're all striving for something. You wouldn't be here wasting your time. I don't mean wasting your time. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be here trying to learn something new if you were all good. You're like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to learn anything. So you're striving for something. That's why we have vision boards, right? That's why we have mentors and coaches. We are striving for something. And so these thoughts can really act like a big brick wall between us and who we want to be. Okay. So I'm not just a journalist. I am also a coach too. So I use it on myself. You can see this group of people here. This is one of my weekly Zooms with my coaching clients. I use this 4-step method with them. And I have a roster of 75 coaching clients, most of whom are TV journalists. And I bet you anything, I have someone in your neck of the woods because they're all local journalists. You probably see some of them on your TV. Also, when I'm at the White House and I'm surrounded by experienced journalists, I mean, I'm standing there with people who we've seen on TV for a long time, who can talk about anything and it just flows. I have to use this method too, so that I can get my mind right and know that I am confident. And also, here's the thing is, if someone's watching me on their screen, and sure, there's CNN over here, or there's Fox over here, like if they happen to be watching me, that meant that it was meant to be that they get that story from me. And maybe, just maybe, the way I tell that story with my knowledge base and with my conversational way is going to hit them. It's going to touch them in some way. If they wanted a different channel or a different person, they'd go watch that person. But if the world has conspired for them to be watching me, just like if it conspires that they come across your video on social media or on your website, they're the right person for you. So I have to, again, when I'm at the White House, get my mind right. And, I don't just wear the label of high school dropout, which I'm no longer because I ended up getting my GED and going to college. But sometimes that label sticks, right? And sometimes that label brings other labels like the not good enough, the not smart enough, a whole host of not enoughs. So you may feel this sometimes too, and it's perfectly normal. You might wonder again, okay, how did I get from high school dropout to being at the White House? I'm going to tell you that story later on. And I can tell you this, it had to do with getting out of my comfort zone and one ask. I'm going to leave it at that. That's what we call a news tease, my friends. Okay. That's the kind of thing that right before the commercial break, they're like, and I'll tell you how this dog, I don't know. My dog is sitting right here. Found himself in this pile of money. And you're like, whoa. And you're like going to say, that's what that was, a tease. All right, let's get into it. So how many of you out there, and feel free to just, let me know in the chat, how many of you have ever said, oh, no, not me. No, I'm not making a video. I don't like how I look on video, or I don't like how I sound. Oh my gosh, I hate how I sound. I hate my voice. I hate to hear my voice. Oh, who's going to want to listen to me? We all know that person. There's always someone who doesn't think their message is enough, right? Or I don't know what to say. What am I going to say in this video? Well, let me tell you, lots of times I don't know what to say. It happens. I certainly have felt like every one of these things, and maybe you do too. So let me know right in the chat there. Let me know if you've ever said any of these things to yourself, or what your brand of, I don't like this, or I don't like that, or this is why I'm not making a video. Now, while there are actionable ways, okay, you can improve your voice, okay, or find out exactly what to say, or figure out how you can set up your camera and what you need to wear and how you need to set it up so that you like how you look better on camera. There's actionable steps, but the first actionable step rather, see, I mess up too, is mindset. Mindset is everything. So this is going to take 5 minutes. You'll see here, I've got this written down, and I'm going to ask you to take on a little trip with me, okay? I want to ask you to get a piece of paper, get a little pad, whatever it is, a pen, or just, get your phone and use your notes app. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds here and there, and I'm going to ask you some questions. And I really, really do invite you to do the work. This isn't even going to take 5 minutes. It's going to take like 3 minutes, okay? But I really want to invite you to do the work, because you can literally change how powerful and confident you feel in the next 3 minutes, I promise you. Okay, so before we even do this work, okay, I want to ask you right now, and I'm sure you're home, maybe you're in your sweats. I mean, I'm wearing leggings, as you can see. Maybe you're in your sweats, you're hanging out. I get it, but play with me here. Write down on that piece of paper or in your phone how powerful you feel right now between 1 and 10. What's the number? Is it 2? Is it 1? Is it 10? So take a second just to write that down and then think about it. Like, how powerful do I feel? Probably give myself an 8. I'm going to give myself an 8 because I feel pretty good. I did prepare this, right? I did the work to prepare this presentation to be here. I put on my favorite blazer, things are good. So I'm feeling 8. But the 2 that I'm missing, between 8 and 10 is me going, gosh, I hope they think I'm doing okay. So I'm just being vulnerable and honest with you. So let me know. You can write that down in the chat as well. And feel free, if you don't want to write it down, on a piece of paper or on your phone, you can write this stuff in the chat. Okay. So we are going to bust through imposter syndrome right now, so you can create what you want to create in your life. Okay. So this whole 4-step process starts now, and I have an easy acronym to help you remember it, but let's go through it. Okay. So here's the first step, and it starts with G. G stands for get real. I'm going to ask everyone here to get real. Get real about the labels you wear, the stories you have about yourself that hold you back. I promise you, of the 4 steps, this is the toughest one, but don't go anywhere. Stay with me. Stay with me. G, get real. Not good enough. I'm not skinny enough. For me, it was, oh, I'm a high school dropout. I'm not good enough. I'm not from the right family. Just a whole bunch of not enoughs. Not smart enough. Because I didn't have the knowledge base that I needed. Because I dropped out of high school, I felt like I missed a lot of important teachings. So that's how I had to really get real. And I want to just give you a couple of seconds. What are the labels that are holding you back? Is it, well, who's going to want to listen to me? You know, as I get older, it's like, oh, well, maybe no one wants to listen to me because, you know, I'm not 25 anymore. Oh, we can always find a label. There's always a label. You know, when I was younger, I have big eyes, but you know, when I was a kid, I wasn't wearing makeup. So, you know, I didn't know how to do all of this. So I had these big eyes. That was my label. You know, kids would make fun of me and it stayed with me. Believe me, you pick up those things as a kid and you bring them into your present. We're all walking around with a big bag of stuff that happened in our childhood. So I'm inviting you to do the work here. It's not easy, right? But you can do it for a couple of seconds. And, you know, we really have to get real, because once you get real, you can get free. You have to shine a light on what's holding you back. Now, I just want to say to you that stuff, that get real stuff, most of it's not true, if not all of it. I'll get to that in a second. Okay, so we're going to move on. The second step is T for triumphs. Now, triumphs, this is the fun stuff, okay? Let's actually get real about triumphs. These are the things that you did. These are cold, hard facts, okay? And I want you to spend just a couple of seconds writing down some things. Actually, I do this every December. I go through my phone. I go through all my pictures on my phone, or I go through my email, my sent email. I know it's a long process, or I go through my calendar. So one of those three methods, and I write down all of my accomplishments for the year. It'll take a while, you know, but I make sure that I go do it. And, you know, I'll take a picture of something like, oh, I went on this trip, or I did that. Or hold on, I'll show you something I did. Come here, buddy. Come here, little buddy. Come here. One thing I did this year is I rescued this little guy, and that's an accomplishment, because he needed rescuing. This is Baxter, everyone. And so this is a wonderful accomplishment. A compliment that you're wonderful, buddy, but an accomplishment for me. And he was tough, but we got a trainer and we gave him love. And there you go, buddy. I'm sorry to wake you up. He was sleeping. So, you know, that was an accomplishment. The Emmy obviously is an accomplishment. I had a wonderful story on CBS Mornings. Like, you know, think about the accomplishments, and they don't have to all be work. Although if you got a promotion, you finished a project, if you worked with someone who was difficult and you got through, and, you know, and you didn't say anything and you wanted to say, that's an accomplishment. Did you start a business? Did you sign up for this? Because when you sign up for something like this, you are putting an energy out into the world that you want more, you want to learn. Like, that's amazing. Really. So think about the accomplishments. And I'm going to give you a couple seconds, take a sip of water and write them down, okay? Now, I can't give you all the time in the world to write them down, but I know if you were to sit there, you would have tons. There's things you don't even remember that you did last year. And this doesn't have to be just the, you know, last 12 months. This can be, you know, lifetime. There's
Debra,
so many things. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just going to interrupt quick because we wanted some clarity from the comments. Once again, remind us what G and T mean as we're going through.
Yes, absolutely. So G means get real. Thank you guys so much for asking. So get real is the process by which you got to get real about the labels and stories that you talk about yourself to get rid of them. So get real about the way you hold yourself back by the labels that you wear, like high school dropout or not good enough. Get real. Those are the labels that are holding you back. T is for triumphs. And so triumphs is all of the things that you've done, the accomplishments. And when you list out all those accomplishments, you're going to see that is real. The stuff that you listed for get real in the G section, it's actually not real. It's stuff that we think. So not good enough is something that would be in my G section. Who's to say I'm not good enough? I don't think that when I die and they do an autopsy, they're going to cut me open and find I'm not good enough. Right? Like, I mean, sorry to be so morbid, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not true. Now, triumphs, that dog, you guys saw that dog that I picked up. We really did rescue him. That Emmy back there, I really did get that. Like, these are the triumphs. This is the stuff in black and white. You write it down, and that's what's real. The other stuff is BS. It's not real.
Love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll continue on here because we have the next one. Now that we've kind of gone through this and like been like, get out of here, old labels, and we're looking at how powerful we really are. Because if I put down my accomplishments and Jonah, you put down your accomplishments and someone in the chat put down their accomplishments, we'd all look and go, whoa, look at you. All right, you know? And we don't do that for ourselves, but we need to. We need to really celebrate that. Okay, so moving on. F is for freedom, the freedom to choose your new labels. So I did have these really not so great labels in the G section, you know, high school dropout, not good enough. And I want to create my new labels. So you actually do have the freedom to choose. So F stands for freedom, freedom to choose your new labels. And what are your new labels? Pick some big ones. I would love to pick New York Times best-selling author. I'm writing a book right now. Now, do I know that's going to happen? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm picking it. If you don't pick labels that kind of are scary, get you out of your comfort zone, then what are you doing, right? You want to pick something that you can really live into, like something that makes you a little bit scared, because that's what life is about, getting to your goals and creating change in this world, being fulfilled. So for me, I would pick New York Times bestselling author. Here's a good one. I already fulfilled on this, but Dog Mom. Got the Dog Mom. I'm just kidding there. I would pick multi-million-dollar business owner. Yeah, that's a good one. So I'm liking this. These are the big labels that we want to embody, and feel free to drop your label that you want, that you have the freedom to choose in the chat. Okay, so freedom to choose. Amazing. So imagine that, and really pretend like money isn't a thing, you know, and you can just order up labels like you're on Amazon. And you're just like, done. I've got a magic wand, and I can give you whatever you want. What label would you choose? Okay. And you're probably going to figure out this acronym real quick, but I do this on purpose because you'll remember it. So O is for own it. So think about this. How would you own those labels you chose in the freedom to choose section? So for me, New York Times bestselling author, how could I own that? Okay. Well, I would probably find a book coach that could really help me, and I would invest in myself. And maybe that book coach might be expensive, but then I might think to myself, well, I need to earn more money in this section of my life, or maybe I can go without that, because if I really want that label of New York Times bestselling author, maybe I really do need someone to help me guide this, versus writing this book by myself when I've never written a book before. I might need someone who knows what to do. And so owning it, one thing I did, as you know, in the owning it section, is I looked up someone's name at one of the big publishing houses, and I just cold emailed her, right? And I said, would you be open to a quick networking Zoom call? All she could say is no, but she said yes. And so we had that networking Zoom call, and now I'm working on the proposal, and I'm going to send it to her. But if I was sitting here, like I do sometimes, I'm not going to say I'm perfect, but I was sitting here and I was, you know, unshowered. Come on. If you're an entrepreneur, sometimes you're sitting at your desk unshowered, right? You know, in my pajamas. Now it's starting to be noon, you know, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should call this person. What are they going to do? No, I chose to own that label. If I want to be a multi-million-dollar business owner, I'm going to make that video. I'm going to find out, I'm going to invest in myself to figure out how to make that video. I'm going to say, oh, you know what? I need a different phone. My phone isn't as great. I'm going to upgrade my phone, whatever it is that you need to do. So when you think about owning it, okay, think about this. If you were that label that you have the freedom to choose, who would you call? What would you do? What would you ask for? How would you show up? What would you wear? How would you invest in yourself? So, this is the thing at CBS. I'm always doing Zoom networking calls with people because they're all over the country. And if I don't, no one's going to know that I'm here and I want to tell these stories. I can't just send one email. I have to think, okay, if I'm intimidated and don't send that email, I'm not going to get that story on the air. So I have to show up like I'm, their biggest correspondent and say, hey, I've got this really great story. And I know you didn't email me back and I know you're so busy. So that's why I'm calling you, because I know that you would love this for your show. Like, that's how I would ask for things if I was embodying that label. So you've figured out my acronym, but really, I'm telling you, you have to get out of your own way. You have to. And so this is the process by which I get out of my own way. And right now I usually skip right over to the F and the O and I go, okay, I'm a network TV correspondent. Okay, I'm a multi-million-dollar business owner. How am I going to own that? And I just replay that over and over and over again until I'm asking for these things. And I have asked for incredible things and actually gotten them. So I'm not telling you just what's worked for me and for my coaching clients, but think about people who I introduced you to. Two of my favorite stories. Okay. Jamie Watts chose the label marathon runner. People may not have given her that label, but she chose that and she owned it. So she hired a coach and she trained every day. And I saw her train. I went to the gym and saw her train there. And Matthew Goins, he chose the label game changer. He changed the game for sure. I mean, these puzzles are, that Oprah, Oprah actually selected his puzzles and put them in her magazine. So I would say this picking your label and owning it is working for them. So you are who you say you are. Your words exist. When you basically speak yourself into existence with your words. And so, this realization has not just helped me to, walk down that path of the book, right? Or work on my business or become a successful TV correspondent. It really has caused me to make hundreds of videos and really connect with people, because what I do is I bring the energy into the room, right? Like I bring this energy because I know my story can connect with you. Okay. I know how important stories are. And also, that vulnerability that connects us. So that's part of crafting your personal story. And I can get into that in a little bit. I tell people this. I am the network TV correspondent who dropped out of high school, who shared her story with anyone, because I know you can do it too. If I can do that, you can do anything. And that's why I got people, like, messaging me on Instagram and, on YouTube. And I'm not saying I have a huge audience, but it's taking off. And I'm really excited about it because I get to hear from wonderful people every day. I want to share with you how this helped one of my coaching clients. And this is Laura.
Hey, I'm Laura. I used Debra's GTFO method to overcome a situation that was holding me back. For a while, I let it define me, and with her method, I was able to write it all down, let it all go, so that I could go after the job I want.
Yay! So I want to leave you on this note. We're going to open up for questions and talk about other things and talk about the course. But, this is the starting point. This is just the starting point, right? So when you believe in your message and the fact that your message is important and can change and maybe even save a life, I'm not kidding, okay? And you get that the world needs what you and only you, uniquely you have, then you're powerful. And then everything else just works itself out. Then the equipment, you get the equipment and you're fine with working the equipment because you know that someone's going to get your video and go, oh man, I feel the same way. I need what this person's got. You're going to figure out how to dress, how to sit. By the way, you want to sit on the edge of your blazer so it's not bunching up, guys. Okay. What to say, how to repurpose your videos. All of that comes easily, but it all starts with this. So I'm wondering, does anyone want to share the number one thing they learned here today, or any of the labels that you want to embody? How are we doing on comments, Jonah?
We got, I've been hesitant to pop in because we don't have formal like questions,
Yeah,
but
I don't
man,
mind. Come on.
but man, people are just sharing. I want to share. There was some of like the when we were saying our owning it. I've recorded 3 albums of original
Yes,
songs.
I
I have
see
2
that.
books. We got all of these people who have just been like absolutely pouring their hearts into this. So it has been awesome. And for everyone watching, feel free to drop any like I know we have Q&A means questions, so don't stop just sharing all of this, like these lovely just
Yeah.
everyone is taking this to heart. But also feel free to use this time we have, Deborah, for a little longer to ask any formal questions. Deborah, did you have any more slides, or can I bring that
Yeah.
down and just
Yeah, I do
I just-
have, I do want to share a little bit about the course, but I am,
yeah.
should I do that now?
Yeah, well, you do that. And for everyone watching, drop those questions in there. We're going to learn a little more about the course, and then we'll get to answering all of those questions.
Yeah, and by the way,
But yeah,
there's nothing that you can't ask me that I will answer whatever, whether it's about, my ridiculous life story, or if it's how to be confident, if it's a news related question, if it is about the course and creating videos, like I'm here for you. So let's do the thing.
love it. Love it. Well, let's talk a little, about the course and how you kind of walk people through this transformation. I love it.
Oh, great. Well, the first thing, like I said, and this is the name of the course, Broadcast to Billions, Be Confident on Camera. So again, you're going to get all of the technology to do what we just did. And there's worksheets and everything, because I really do believe that you have to write things down, whether you're typing them in, because there are PDFs that you can type in, or you print it out and you write it down, whatever works for you. You got to see it. I mean, there is a funny story about how I would write things on my bathroom mirror in my old, like before I met my husband, and I had a date, and the person came over and was like, "What are these things that you're writing on your, like, what is this?" A little embarrassing, but I'm not, no, I need to be powerful, And so that's what I do. I have things written all over the place here. I think it's important. So we first go through, of course, this GTFO method. And then we work on crafting your personal story, because you have to have different versions of your personal story for your speaking bio, when you're in an elevator with someone, when you're doing a video, even for now, the first 5 seconds of your TikTok video. All of these things are really important. And so your personal story is your why. Why do you do what you do? But it's got to be like this. There's so many downloadable checklists, everything from what to wear to the equipment to buy. And I have like some of the equipment here. I mean, my goodness, this is one of my favorite microphones, but anyway. Then there's, of course, tips on writing. How many people start telling a story and they tell the story up until the story? So it's like, well, so I was going here and then I did this and then if you've ever talk to someone like that, it's going to be like that. But people really have these magazine length attention spans. Like, it's got to be like this. So I'm going to help you craft your story and weed out what needs to go out so that you can have this polished diamond to give people.
Love it.
Here's just what it looks like a little bit. So you can see, I mean, I know I love the color pink. I love bright things. And my videos also, I create them to give you a little bit of, inspiration for things. This may not be your look, but maybe, you can see something like I'm using depth of field here. And just to give you a little bit of depth of field just means I don't have my back up against a wall. And that's a huge thing in any, if you watch TV, you watch a documentary, we always want depth of field. So I made sure that when I set up this room that I had this, and then I had that corner back there. And so you'll see my videos all have this, branding to them, right? Like you can see what my brand is right here.
Yes.
I wear bright colors. A lot of the font is the same. And so I help you with that, with your videos as well. And the equipment guide is really important. And so this is a little bit about the course. Again, what you get there, 5 video training modules. It's not a long, arduous course. I don't believe in taking up a lot of time, and nobody wants to watch a, 78-minute video to learn how to make a video. We want to get to it. the video equipment checklist. I've got links to everything that you need. And I don't think you need to spend a lot. In fact, I know you don't. Okay. An on-camera appearance guide, and what things that you don't even realize that you don't want to wear. You don't want to wear satin, by the way. Whew, satin and lights, not good. Content idea guide. We have lists on lists of things that you could talk about. If you don't know what to say, I got you. And then a way to repurpose your content, because I mean, once you make a video, you don't want to be making 10 more videos of the same darn video. So there's a way to repurpose it. And the course is $49. You get it for life, and you can get it at debraalfarone.com/confident. And that's everything about the course. I think that, yeah, I mean, here's the thing about, these courses. I love Teachable, and I love courses. I bought a course on how to write this book and how to write the query letter that goes with the book. Like, I mean, just incredible. So many people have knowledge bases, and this is my knowledge base. Not only do I know this stuff like the back of my hand, but I'm the kind of coach that stands for your greatness. So you always have a way to contact me through Facebook. There's a Facebook group as well. And like, if you get to know anything about me, I'm not letting you fail. I know that everybody's story needs to be told. And so I'm very encouraging, and that's the coach that you get.
I love it. So I have a couple of questions. First, I do want to say I appreciate so much that it's not, and there are subjects that deserve this, where it's like 900 hours of course material and all. People try and pack so much in to make like value, but I appreciate with something like this that you're just giving people what they need to get started right away. And I did want to say too, you can go to the website. The courses are also linked in the comments and the description below, so you can take advantage of that nice and easy. And I did want to kind of start off the Q&A because it took me a long time in working in the entertainment industry to get any confidence. And I'm like 80% of the way to where I would like to be. But I know it can be hard when you have resources, you have training, you have coaching and all of this, and you're going out and expecting immediate results.
Yeah.
And then you end up in a negative kind of feedback loop, because then the minute you watch the first video of yourself, you're like, oh, this is garbage. Or that was my experience, where it's really easy to fall into this trap where then maybe another day you try again, but it's garbage. And, so do you have any advice for that specific thing? Because it's easy to forget that it is a skill you can practice, and that the confidence makes you a more, the more you practice, the more confident you become and all of that. So any advice on that train of maintaining the drive to keep doing it? Because it's rough to have to watch yourself over and over until you get there.
I remember doing stand-ups, okay, my first station, which was a little dinky station that doesn't even exist anymore in Staten Island, New York, okay? Yes, before Pete Davidson was there. No, actually, I'm sure he was there, but he was probably just a kid. Anyway, I was terrible. And I would do it over and over and over and over again, and this law is going to, I don't know, I'm making up whatever. I have no idea what I would say, but it was the same one 18 times over. Like the 18th was the same as the first. And so I get it. I get the frustration. And, true change doesn't happen overnight, but what would you tell your best friend? You'd be like, you're going to get there. You would tell your best friend that, but why are we so mean to ourselves? Like, it's just not fair to expect and have those expectations that I'm going to do this and it's going to be great. What I will say is watching yourself is tough, but you got to do it. And if you're not sure, like, you got to be uncomfortable. My best thing, and I do coach people one-on-one, journalists, I coach them. And sometimes in the moment I can I'm there, so I can get a good performance out of them. And I'll be like, do what I say, like, do it. Like, I'll do it. Now you do it. What I do when they're not there, when I'm not there for them, is I say, watch it and see, are you uncomfortable? If you're not uncomfortable, you'd be very uncomfortable. Because it's not normal. Like, what do you think the regular me is like this here, But like, I'm like, chill and sitting at home. But on video, like, I'm on a presentation right now. And so I have to amp it up. And, we've all watched presentations where people, and, I'm sure you've done enough of them where they're like, yeah, this is my course. Course is fine. And I like my course and course is good, and there's no energy. So if you're watching yourself and that's the problem that you have, you got to pump it up and use your whole, notice I have my hands up, that's pretty arresting, right? Like that's pretty compelling. So, bring someone into you, use what you've got, be like, I need to show you this. These are my new glasses. Look at them. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to use what you've got and you've got to be uncomfortable, but not everyone is comfortable with a big personality. Make yourself uncomfortable. You got to keep edging into uncomfortable territory because everything you want is over there. It's uncomfortable to ask a publishing person to do a Zoom with you and do
Right.
it. Yeah.
Right.
All waiting on the other side of your comfort zone.
I love that. We got some questions coming in, so I want to get to them before we have to wrap up. But CS Renewal is asking, how do you get in the habit of looking at the camera instead of looking at yourself? I'm assuming you're recording like on a phone or something. CS Renewal is where you're stuck looking at yourself. It's so strange. I keep looking at myself, but I should be looking at the viewer. So any advice there?
It's the worst. I'm with you. Okay, so right now, when you're making a video on your phone, it's one thing, right? Now I'm looking at you, so I'm looking at you, and it obviously looks like I'm not looking at the camera. Like, here's the difference, right? So I get that, and I do aim to look there. Now, obviously, that's different. But when I do see myself, and I have to go, oh, and you'll notice I keep doing this with this hair because I hate this curl, right? So we do whatever we need to do, and we fix ourselves, and then you got to take a Post-it. Take a Post-it and put it over your phone so you don't see yourself, because you need to connect. And I will tell you this from my years of TV news, okay? Promise you. And this is something a news director said to me many, many, many jobs ago. It's like, if I'm telling you something, it's all about this eye contact. I have to look in your eyes. So if you're looking at yourself, your gaze is off of the viewer when the video is made. So put a Post-it over your phone, because again, going back to TV news, if I'm telling you something, I'm like, yes, the snow is falling over here and you can see over there. Now, if I keep my head like that, you're losing me. And I remember one boss that I had told me, listen, you can't look over there. And we do it, right? Like, you see it on TV. Oh, the snow is falling and you can see the car over there is covered, or the car, went into the tree over here, and you're looking. But if I'm here any more than 2 seconds, look, we have no connection now. So you have to connect. It's really important. Whatever you got to do, fool yourself. But I know what you mean. I'm always looking at myself going, why can't I look?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the CS Renewal. I just got a camera to avoid having that. And it's hard because you can't see yourself, but same kind of thing. I was using Post-its and stuff, like you said, Debra. It makes such a difference. Because then you're not stuck in your own face and head. I appreciate that question.
Oh yeah.
Here's an interesting. We have a lot of not questions formally, but I'm gonna phrase them as questions because I wanna dive into these kind of. But technology is intimidating. We are frenemies. So if you're not in this space necessarily of being comfortable with technology, but you're still trying to gain confidence on video, do you have any advice on where to start, kind of what to focus on first to build that, because there's so many elements.
There are so many elements. You're right. And it's not easy, but it's getting easier. So I was totally put off by TikTok. I was like, I gotta learn another thing. But I do need to learn another thing, because I don't want to let my labels that I put on myself, I'm not good with technology, stand in the way of me having another avenue to reach out to people. Because I know that because it all goes back to mindset. I know that my message connects to people and literally saves lives. I know that this might sound like I'm crazy, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. So I have to get out of my way with the technology. So that's one of those mindset things. If I think technology is hard, guess what? It's going to keep me from doing things. So I have to not think. I have to think, okay, well, I'm going to set aside time, an hour a day or an hour on Saturday or whatever it is, to get more familiar with the technology. And man, there's a YouTube video on everything. So it's mindset first. But to kind of look into it, it all depends on what specifically you're talking about. Technology, like this, your phone's easy enough. If it's the editing, there are really good apps that you can use that make editing easier. But if you've never edited video before, it's not easy to learn that. And give yourself grace, take a course if you can, or find something on Teachable, because there are really good, easy to use courses. Like my course is very snackable, like find a snackable course.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was if you search like Teachable Discover and video, or Teachable Discover video editing, we've had a lot of awesome creators come on who are doing all of that. And the only thing I would say, Susan, is like my grandma's been in the same, and I don't know your age, so I'm not insinuating everything, but like my grandma's been in the same situation, just denied it, but then just got so sick of not being able to FaceTime and just started approaching it like a puzzle, because she loves puzzles, and it took like 2 weeks and she got it. It was just always like, what's the next piece? And then she got it and figured it out. So it is a challenge, but yeah, I appreciate your attitude towards everything, Debra, is so delightful.
Thank you. I want to share what I was.
Oh yeah, please.
Real quick is, again, this whole thing about your message saves lives. Okay, that's pretty heady stuff to deal with, right? Like, well, my message saves lives. What are you talking about? Literally, when I was anchoring in DC, I would anchor on weekends, and I would set up my phone on a little tiny tripod on the edge of my anchor desk, and I would do a Facebook Live. Literally, the same 20 people were on there every week. And I, will be honest, I thought to myself, well, 20 people, whatever. I'm in Washington, D.C. All I have is 20 people on my Facebook, like whatever. Like I kind of stopped doing it. And I ended up, and it was actually really nice. Like the people would comment as we were anchoring. I wasn't paying attention to it, but in the commercial break, we would say, I'd go check out, hey, Bob, hey, Sue, hey, whatever, and they would say, oh, I like your dress, or, oh, I can't believe the weather. The meteorologist would get involved, but I stopped doing it. It was an ego thing. Like I only have 20 people. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say that. And it was really nice. Like the people got to know each other, and I created that community. Well, one guy ended up messaging me, and he told me that he is a veteran with PTSD, and he's basically shut in his home, and he doesn't have a community, and he doesn't have anyone to talk to. And that 1/2 hour on Saturday and also on Sunday that he was on the Facebook Live, he felt like he was part of a community. And that made me realize that the little things that you do, you have no idea whose life you're saving. In addition, he had mentioned that he had tried to take his life several times. And I know this is really heavy stuff, but I want you to really see that just doing a Facebook Live behind the scenes where you're talking about the weather, oh, can't believe it's 70 degrees today, can save someone's life.
Yeah.
Everyone here, like whatever, if it's technology, if it's this, like all this stuff can be overcome. You got this. You can do it.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I got woo.
No, it's all good. It's not a segue, but a very technical question next.
I know. Poor you. After that. Boy.
No, but I think it's true. And I just want like a lot of creators I've seen talk about, you start realizing you're almost obligated at some point. Like, and once your message gets out and you start realizing even 1 or 2 impacts, you start, like one creator we had recently was just talking about how like stop being selfish and thinking about, by thinking like you have these obstacles in the way, like people need to hear what you have. And it can, like you're saying, the impact can be wildly more than you think it would be. So yeah, I love it. All that said, I see you have a microphone on your camera. What Mike said. And I see you have a microphone on your camera. A camera says CS Renewal. Where is your mic? And what kind do you have?
So I use this with my phone. You know what? We just never. I mean, I normally really just use this when I'm doing like StreamYard or Zoom, because this came with my computer because it works. Like you don't need to buy anything. This came with my phone. But I don't use that when I'm doing anything else. I use this right here and I put them together because I don't like this. I mean, you can. I also do have a lav mic here, which is much less expensive. So where the heck is that thing? Yeah.
I got one on right here.
Yeah, like a lav mic I normally use. But then I realized that, I'm kind of tied down. So this is, and I have a link for this Rode. You can kind of see
Oh,
this
those
here.
are great. Yeah.
And so it's a directional mic and it goes, either way on my camera. So it goes either way and it picks up everything. And so I like this. It's easier for me. And I have a link to that also. As part of the course, I give you the link to all of these things.
Love it.
I like that one the most. So all my videos are made with that.
Love it. Well, we do have to wrap up for time, Debra, and I know that was a very technical question, but again, you offer all of this. And someone said earlier, I don't have it saved, but thank you for doing such a reasonably priced course too, because for everyone watching, there's a variety of courses out there, but this is such a wonderful and accessible way to dive in and start feeling comfortable in this format that is so vital now in this time where we want to, even if it's just, like I said, FaceTiming or connecting, being able to reach out to people in your community. I love that you've built such an accessible resource that walks everything through the equipment all the way through just feeling confident. I like kind of asking a little more of a wrap up question before we end today, which is, I love your GTFO system and all of that. And it's so powerful to sit down and do those practices.
Mm-hmm.
But it really every day is a new day and brings its new challenges. And I don't know if you believe in mantras or what practices you have for yourself, but we're going to fail a little bit at something every day while also succeeding at other things. But to keep the drive going, do you have advice or what is your practice for every day waking up and bringing the freaking energy that you have and the vibe that you have and really going after owning those things like you have? What can we do?
I mean, I'm blessed in that I've created this company that, I have all my courses and my clients. And so they keep giving me energy because I know I'm giving them a transformation. This course has transformed people and I hear back from them. Thank you so much. Like you heard from Laura, she's feeling like she's worthy of her dream job and she's going after it. And I know she's going to get it. And so, that feeds me as well. But I'll tell you, and you can't really see it here because I have all of these darn, gosh, I have so many anyway, but on here I have my labels. I know. Oh, here it is. Okay. On here I have all my labels. And again, it's hot pink, but really I have all the labels so that I know. I have author, I have a network TV correspondent, content creator, keynote speaker, podcast host, because I want to launch a podcast in the next month. I have all of those labels. And I just also give myself grace. I really have done a lot of therapy and spiritual readings and all that stuff, to get into make sure I'm as powerful as I can be. Because I think it would be a shame if I wasn't. I just think it's a shame when something that happened to us or some kind of thing, we let things sit in our head and keep us from our greatness. So I'm really powerful about doing the work. And I have the ability to have grace and go, I'm not feeling that. I'm being a little cranky with people, or I don't really feel that confident today. Or if I even hear myself go, I feel a little fat today, or dumb little things that you say that are just, why do we say this about ourselves? I do have the ability to hear myself and go, wait, take a step back, give myself some grace, and then do a reset. And I try that because we're in charge of every day. We are in charge of our lives. Life doesn't happen to us. We create it. I do believe that. And so it's all that work that really helps me to go, not today, Satan, not today.
I love it. Well, I love that idea of having, just the ability to check yourself.
Before you wreck yourself, you know it.
Yep. Oh, Debra, thank you so much. And if people want to follow you, keep up with you, ask questions, how can they keep track of you and what you're doing?
Everywhere I'm under my name, Debra Alfarone, DebraAlfarone. You'll see it everywhere. go to my website, sign up for my my freebies, follow me on Instagram. I love me some Instagram. I'm also having a lot of fun on TikTok. Join me there. Yeah, you can find me in a myriad of ways.
Love it. Love it. And for everyone watching, thank you so much for being here and being vulnerable and open and sharing and asking so many questions. Please hop in the comments. Thank Debra for her time. It's been a total blast. And if you had a good day today, if you learned something, if you grew a little, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to bring more folks like Debra out here just to help us grow in every possible way and keep that fire alive as we become the people we all are destined to be. Debra, thank you so much.
I'm taking a picture.
Take it.
Okay, there you go. Make it into a video. Thank you so much.
Love it. Thank you so much. And for everyone watching, thank you too. We'll see you all soon. Have a good day, Debra.
Bye. Thank you. You rock.
You rock. We'll
Thanks.
see you soon.